Right, time for an unboxing montage. Trying to slice my fingers off. Yes! What have we got? Got a bit of protective packaging. Oh my gosh, that was so cool. Okay, power cable. A cover, battery cover. Actually, that isn't as heavy as I thought it was going to be. Check it out. Now for the solar panels, because today is a glorious sunny day. When I say sunny, sunny for us. It's about 21 degrees today, Celsius, which is in old money about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Hello, there's a box inside a box. Okay, so that's a 12 volt power lead. Ow, my foot. Come on. A little bit more tape to cut off. First impression, that box was quite awkward when it arrived, but actually strip it back, take away the polystyrene, stick a handle on it, I can lift it with one arm. I'm kind of flying blind here in terms of the setup, so all we've got to do is place the solar panel under strong sunlight, angle the solar panels towards the sunlight, common sense, and don't cover them. I mean, it sounds obvious. So we had this with the motorhome and the aerial on top and learnt about any dirt, partial shade or anything could cause a drop. So let's try and make sure this is good to go. Now, various connectors to the solar panel. So ignoring the cable that came as an extra in my package, we've got the solar panels with the solar cables coming off there. That can connect to this cable, which is your power for the power station. We've got this cable, which again connects to the solar. Not entirely sure what, they're sort of power jacks, aren't they? But I'm not sure if I've got anything that will charge. And then we've got the set of 8 carabiners, which I assume are part of the setup. And talking of setup, let's get this set up. So looking at this AllPowers 2000 a little bit closer, now we've got it out of the box. We've got our main power station, 4 plug sockets across the top, 12 volt charger, we've got 2 USB sockets and 4 USB-A sockets, simple power on, and a choice between the AC power or the DC power. And we've got this socket here, which is the power in socket to come off the solar panels, or perhaps the 12 volt socket in your car, because around the back is our mains charger, should we need it. In terms of what else comes in the bag, we've got our power cables. So in here, we've got the 12 volt socket, and we've got our main kettle lead socket. And then of course, another good idea with everything electrical, especially in this country, it comes with a nice little cover. Let's put that on. As if by magic. There it is, tidy. So far, so simple. There's not a great deal to learn about the power station itself, it's all fairly straightforward stuff. Same with the solar panels. I did look at the instruction book, it's something us men are not very good at doing, and there's not a lot to learn, we've just got to get the angle right and use the right cables. So let's see if Mr. Average, aka me, can put this together. Wow, and more. And more. Have I got it the right way around? No, I haven't. Let's see how quickly I can turn it around. It's my first go, okay? Just hang in there. Well, I've always wanted my own solar farm and now I've got one. So I'm not entirely sure what all the carabiners are for, perhaps staking it down if it's windy, but I've got no guy ropes and it's not windy, so we'll leave those aside. Actually, it turns out you use them in combination with these little hoops to hang your panels. Okay, so we've got solar panel connectors. This should be straightforward enough. You can only connect it one way. With our mains power cable, fans kicked in. On a hot day like today, I should probably try and keep this in the shade. Temperature tends to affect the performance of the batteries, so perhaps either inside this cover or round the back out of the way behind these shades would be a good idea. Now I'm actually casting a shadow over some of these cells, as is the camera, which is probably knocking it down a tiny bit. So it looks like it's arrived here 70% full already, which is great. What do you think of this solar power? You're solar powered, aren't you? Sammy here, like me, is dressed in dark today and we are burning. Okay, now I've got my big head out of the way and I'm not blocking the solar panels. We're getting, on a 20-degree day, I can see the fans kicked in down here. It looks like we're getting 305 watts in. I'll take a time check now and we'll see how long it takes to get from 73 up to, what, 80? So far so good. And if you're interested in getting one of these yourself, then don't forget to check the description below for the link and limited special offer. So after 20 minutes, we managed to achieve a 10% rise. That's on a 300 watt input. But even if we had a really sunny day and we achieved the full 400 watts, you're going to lose some of the power to just running the battery itself. For the quickest results, use mains and solar power together. Up till now, this is the only portable power bank I've had, my phone charger, which does my phone once, maybe twice if I'm lucky. Right, well, I've got to head out in the car for the next hour and work on my laptop, so a great time to put it to the test. So rather than stay in my car parked just back there on such a glorious day, I'm going to come and sit outside with the power bank. Okay, so let's go ahead and download the app. So we're looking for the AllPowers app. That's great. So it's connected and I'm getting feedback from what's left on the battery and also what's plugged in, which obviously right now is nothing. As you may or may not know, we spent 3 months last year traveling around France, and you would have seen all the kinds of power problems that we had, with 3 kids in the van, 2 adults, a dog, working, 3 gaming laptops, all sorts of devices and phones that needed charging. We suffered. And thankfully it was sunny enough that our solar panels charged our internal batteries, but there were days where we had no power in the van and no way of charging, so a portable unit like this would have come in really useful. So I'm going to set up my typical desk and see how it does. Right, let's get the laptop going. And it appears to be completely dead. Perfect for our test. So let's get our AC outputs working. You hear the fan kick in there. Let's get plugged in. It's using an internal inverter to produce the power for these AC sockets. It's quite something when you think it can do 4 at once, as well as all these other inputs. And there we go, my laptop's coming back to life, great. But I wouldn't just have that, would I? I'd have my music on. So I've got my smart speaker. Let's plug that in as well. Right, so the smart speaker's in. But what else would I do? I'd also be charging my phone. Rather than plug it into the AC output, we'll plug it into this USB-C. But then, that wouldn't be all, would it? Because there's kids on board and they've worn their devices out, so they also want to plug in. So from our 83% battery level, there's an indicator there saying I've got 8 hours and 46 minutes left based on the amount of power that I'm drawing at the moment, which is obviously a little bit longer than my whole working days. So naturally what's great about this is that it's portable. So I've got it here at the moment in our dining area, but I could take it down to our rear lounge, and if I put the shade out, I could sit out outside. And of course with my laptop in a rucksack with all its cables, I'm free to carry the portable power station wherever I want, whether it's down the beach or into a historic town or to the pub.
Yeah, I think there's a trapdoor and it seeks out all those people
yeah, it's funny.
that have attempted.
Well, there you go. Now I can work away and learn a little bit more about the AllPowers system. But at some point I'm going to have to charge it up again, so as long as this sun hangs around, we'll get the panels out and we'll see if we can beat our record from the other day. So a quick run through the specs. Obviously we've got these 4 AC outputs at the top that rely on an internal inverter. We've got the 12-volt socket, just like you would have in a car. There's 2 USB-C, they're sort of faster chargers, I guess, for more modern devices. And then 4 standard USB sockets, which you control on and off through the buttons on the front. And obviously there's a Bluetooth button there for turning the Bluetooth on and off to connect with the app. You can remotely turn on the AC and DC sections using the app, and you can monitor your power usage and what's left in the battery. I guess if you were using the battery, you might not use the app right next to it. However, if you were inside doing something but you were outside charging the battery using the panels, then you can keep an eye on how the panels are doing through the app. As getting the right angle is ever so important to generate the most power from these panels, I set up 3 experiments, one where the panels are vertical, one where they're horizontal, and lastly when they're at an angle. In each case the panels were set perpendicular to the sun based on their shadow, and you can see the results for yourself. Well, that goes to prove it, doesn't it? If you want power from your panels, you've got to change the angle of your dangle. Ran out of power this morning, having not driven the van around for a while. Our leisure battery was really low, so with the kids using the TV and me having music on all day long, we totally forgot that the leisure battery needs charging from driving, and that's something we haven't had to do a lot of, given this site is just around the corner from where we live. So I noticed the AllPowers station was working quite hard for us for some reason. I was thinking there's nothing on inside, we've just using the water pump and the lights, but of course Stampy is recharging the leisure battery off of this battery. So although the timer on there said it could survive for about 3 hours powering whatever it was powering, actually it's charging up the leisure battery in there, and then this will be dead. So while it's sunny at least, why not pull out all the solar panels to charge this battery, which then charges the leisure battery. Simples. Yes, simplicity is its beauty. Here I am also charging my e-bike from it. And my son powering a late night movie in his tent. Overall, a pretty impressive piece of kit. And if you fancy one yourself, plus a discount, don't forget to use the code ESCAPE in the motorhome on their website. Bye for now.